Boys, week 9 is upon us. It is our final show of the week. Thus, we must bring you our final thoughts. Let's go down the line. I'll start first. First and foremost, I think one of the bigger matchups this weekend, 11 o'clock local noon start, or a local start out there at Oklahoma. Ole Miss travels out there to Norman to take on the Sooners. I think the most important thing and my final thought on this football game is the fact that I personally do not believe John Mateer is anything close to himself right now. At least he hasn't been the last 2 football games. And if that continues, especially in a rainy environment, that is a major problem for a guy who is very rotational, arms at the 90, got to have good grip strength, and the thumb is not quite there yet. That concerns me about this one.
Yeah, my final thought on this game is whichever coach loses this game, because someone has to, they're going to sour pretty quickly with their fan base, in my opinion. Because on one hand, let's not forget that Brent Venables was kind of on a hot seat, a warm seat heading into this season of, hey, if things
we got to hire a GM seat.
Right.
Warm enough where we got to bring a GM in.
If you start out 5-0 and then you kind of stumble your way down, you lose to Texas, and then you drop another one, all of a sudden you've lost 2 games in 3 outings, the fan base is going to look at you kind of funny. On the adverse of that, if Ole Miss drops 2 in a row, it's going to be, well, Lane Kiffin's too busy negotiating this Florida job. He doesn't even want to be here. Let's get him out of here. I think that there's potential for everyone who loses this game. The fan base is going to kind of look at them and go, what is this guy doing?
I have a similar note to you, but I'm going more so with the Oklahoma side of this because I think that this is a must-win game for Oklahoma considering what the rest of your schedule looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, from here on out, it is Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, and LSU. Right now, that's 4 straight ranked matchups right now.
I want to push back on all this because I think we are falling victim to what this fan base cannot fall victim to, which is expectations getting altered midway through the season because we looked halfway good.
I wasn't on the side of let's can him at the end of the year if it goes bad.
No. I'm more talking about even the disappointment. Like, yeah, they have an opportunity to potentially be a playoff team this year. But the window was always next season, in my opinion. We looked at this schedule and knew it was going to be a gauntlet, man. We knew going into this 8-4 would be admirable. The fact that we're sitting through this midway through the season, October 23rd, they've gotten past Michigan, they've gotten past Auburn, and yeah, they took a loss to Texas. They still got a chance to even be a playoff team to me is like a win. What?
Did you just tell fans to be logical?
That was the face.
What's wrong? Bro, they saw
I'm
that.
just trying to temper it, man. I'm just be like, guys, I mean, 8-4 going into the season was like, hell yeah, we'll take 8-4. Look at that schedule.
And you put that 5 next to my name, brother.
Everything, brother. We better win a title. Okay.
Texas stinks this year. We're gonna kill them. What
Sorry for trying to be rational. That's on me.
How dare you?
It's the same thing that I brought up the other day of. It's like trying to tell Tennessee fans, hey, you're okay with 8-4 at the beginning of the year, so don't be mad if you miss the playoffs now.
Mm-hmm.
Hot take, South Florida at Memphis has more playoff implications than any Big Ten game played this weekend.
Oh.
Winner gets to play Navy for a playoff spot.
Mm.
Got 2 6-1 football teams. Memphis has already taken a loss in playoff or in conference. This Atlantic Conference, guys, is elite football. This AAC has got great football teams. USF, Memphis, North Texas, Navy. Hell, I'll throw ECU in that mix. They could give anybody in the Big 12 and the ACC a run for their money any given Saturday, for my opinion. For watching those football teams, they got great ball out there in the AAC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have final thoughts on that one, but I do want to bring this stat up that I stumbled into.
Please do.
For this Vanderbilt-Missouri game, I think that you're going to see Vanderbilt get tested by a team that they really haven't faced so far this year, and the reason why I say that is of the 6 FBS teams Vanderbilt has played this year, 4 of them rank in the bottom 33 for rushing offense so far. So when you look at Vanderbilt's defense and you're like, whoa, pretty solid against the run. They're pretty good. At Missouri, their biggest strength going up against the run. Missouri ranks 7th in the country right now for rushing yards per game offensively. Ahmad Hardy, we know all that there. And ironically enough, the 2 best rushing offenses that they face this year, which by the way, it's Utah State. Where's my note here? Virginia Tech and Utah State. Those were 2 teams that had relative success offensively against Vanderbilt. So Missouri, best rushing offense that they're going to face this year, best running back in the conference, might even be best running back in the country right now, not named Jeremiah Love. I mean, I don't know. It makes me kind of want to change my prediction just a little bit.
It is interesting you say this because while I do think this is going to be a great game, it's going to be a top 20 matchup between 2 SEC teams, between 2 teams that aren't necessarily always on the grand stage. I don't think this is a game between 2 playoff teams. I don't think either of these teams are making the playoff this year just because of stuff like this to where we've seen Missouri necessarily struggle when the ball is put in the quarterback's hands and says, okay, we need you to go win us a game, quarterback. I think Vanderbilt on the same side is on the adverse of that. They go as well as their quarterback goes. Diego Pavia's one bad game. They got killed, but lost by 16 points. So I'm not trusting either of these teams to make the playoff, especially with these remaining schedules.
I'm not as far as to write them off for playoffs, but I am with you with regards to the quarterback position. I think we've talked about it ad nauseum here on this network this week. I do not trust, hey, Bo Pribula, go win us the football game. It's all you. They've eliminated our run game. Ahmad Hardy's going to go 15 for 65. You got to go throw for 300 for us to win. I don't trust that to be the situation here. That being said, you just pointed it out. I don't know if that has to be it. Are they able to win 10 games off of run game, manage the clock? Hey, we play great defense. We've got edge rushers. We're going to get them off the field and get tons of possessions. I don't know. I think this is a Diego Pavia goes out and balls out types of a football game again. That's their recipe for winning. Get into the criticals, have a football game that is dependent upon 3rd and short and 4th and short, and Vandy's going to out-blink you. Like, they're going to out-execute you in those situations. I think that's what this football game turns into ultimately. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take a quick break to give a big time shout out to our friends over at Sleeper, our premier sponsor on the year, and they're doing a great job. The #1 place for daily fantasy and prop plays. Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more than or less than the predicted stats. It's that simple. Over on Sleeper, you can get up to 100x payouts. Share with your friends and get rewarded together. Use promo code Brooks today over on Sleeper and get a 100% deposit match up to $100. That's sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Again, promo code Brooks on Sleeper gets you 100% deposit match today up to $100. Sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Terms and conditions apply. I want to give you a quick tutorial of how friendly and how easy it is over there on Sleeper today. We're going to scroll over to the college football tabs at the top right there, and then you can see we've got all the quarterbacks ready for their pass yardage with their total yardages set. We've got rushing yardages for both quarterbacks and running backs, receiving yards, all that good stuff, passing touchdowns. And here's what I am looking at today, guys. Looks really, really juicy. Jamal Haynes, half a touchdown total in this matchup this weekend against Oklahoma. Come on, guys. One place to be this year, Sleeper. Promo code Brooks. We appreciate those guys. There's another SEC matchup. We've talked about it tonight already, Alabama and South Carolina. The only thing I have for this game is I have no doubt that I don't think South Carolina is going to be able to offensively do anything. So enough to win the football game. So the question becomes, can Dylan Stewart be an alien and limit what Alabama does offensively? Lord knows if you can get Alabama, it's getting them into massive negatives by creating sacks. That's the only really opportunity to get them off the field through their first 7 or 8 football games. So that is a possibility, and Lord knows Shane Beamer can try to create something on special teams. Is that enough to make this game close? I say no.
I think there's potential for this one to get really ugly for South Carolina. And the reason why I say that's not even just because I think that Alabama is a superior team, but when I see things like fans protesting their offensive coordinator outside of the stadium, and I see a team, they're about to face a team that is just absolutely rolling offensively right now, playing some of their best football, some of the best in the country at the moment, and a South Carolina team that doesn't have anything else in front of them at the moment other than maybe a Duke's Mayo Bowl appearance. That scares me because I see
Mayo there.
I see fans that are checked out, essentially, that are almost rooting for the downfall of this team at this moment because that's how much disdain they have for this offensive coordinator at the moment.
They had bullhorns and the TV crews out there. I thought when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, that's just one frat being funny. No, they had the tripods ready. Like, they had the local TV studio and news out there. Like, that was a coordinated effort to let them people know that they don't like Mike Shula.
So when I see things like that, if Alabama just rolls in this one, I think it could get bad.
Yeah, my final thought on that is these teams don't play that often, but when they do, it's been kind of weird. Obviously, we all know what happened in last year's game where South Carolina gave Alabama everything they wanted to and more. 2019 was a one-score matchup against a top 3 Alabama team versus South Carolina.
Oh,
not a good football
Mike Bobo
team.
gave them hell.
Well, it was a one-score game until Najee Harris went absolutely nuclear. That's that classic play where he hurdles a guy and then stiff arms another and all those. And then the previous 3 matchups, the next one was 2010. And we all know what happened there. So it's something to keep an eye on. These teams don't play a lot, and they've always handed some pretty interesting matchups.
Hey, boys, Big Citrus, the nose tackle's back for Iowa State. It completely changes everything that they do with regards to defense. I felt like they failed to get out of their 3-3-5 the last couple of weeks, and maybe it's because they can't. They physically cannot. Maybe they schematically have no ability to get to a 4-down front. But, boys, if y'all don't know, if you're running an odd front that primarily features a zero technique over the middle of the 2 guards, and that's all that's in the middle of B-gap to B-gap, that boy better be a dog. And when Citrus is in the game, Iowa State's got a run defense. When he is not, they get gutted for 275 in the first half against Cincy. Big Citrus is back. Give me the Cyclones over the Cougars because of it.
Glad to see Big Citrus is going to be back in uniform.
Love it. Mm-hmm. You got any more final thoughts? I got a couple
one more game.
I got one about Texas. I think Texas should be able to defensive special teams their way to a win. And I'm going to tell you what about this Mississippi State offense, especially if they cannot protect Blake Shapen like they have not been able to the last several weeks. You might have an opportunity to have more offensive possessions in this football game than you ever have imagined in your lifetime in a 2025 football game, because they can 3 and out quicker than anybody in this conference, which means you're going to get it back. So the amount of times that you have the rock, it will create more opportunities, hopefully with some short fields, to build some offensive confidence. I think that's the thing that they're lacking most right about now. You can bounce around. Go ahead.
All right. Texas A&M not only has the potential to further prove they are one of the best teams in the country, but they could make this one look real bad for a team that you've never beat on the road. I saw an empty Death Valley in a fourth quarter 1-score game against South Carolina in which LSU held a lead. So go ahead and tell me what a 14-point lead for Texas A&M in the fourth quarter for this game might look like if it gets to that point. We might see an empty Death Valley for a ranked SEC matchup, a major rivalry in this conference, and you could empty out their stadium. You could have that fan base set that program not on fire, but, I mean, at least getting sparks flying a little bit. I think they have the opportunity to get a massive, massive win while also just crushing one of their biggest rivals.
Yeah, my final thought, and it's a general one, is this. We're at the point in the season where we think we know the majority of answers. We look at the remaining schedules and we chalk it up. Okay, we know who's going to win these games. We know the results here. We talk about certain teams as if they have already made the playoff. And when we get those hypothetical brackets, we feel like we can fill out how, okay, these are the teams that'll be playing in the championship. And for some of these, we're probably going to be right. There's a good chance that teams we think will reach the national title or make a deep playoff run will make a deep playoff run. But college football has never been this simple, and I don't know who it's going to be, but one of these teams is getting exposed this week. I don't know if it's going to be Indiana or Georgia Tech or Texas Tech, Alabama, Texas A&M, someone else. One of these teams will be exposed as not actually being as good as they're ranked, and it starts on Saturday.
Sir, show me. Claiming someone's going to get exposed this weekend. I love it.